Hi everyone, Chase here with another episode of the High Level Spotlight Sessions where we showcase incredible marketers, leaders in the industry. And today I'm super excited to be joined by John Logar, the founder and CEO of Consulting Unleashed, through which he's worked with over 5,000 CEOs and helped them generate over $4 billion for them across 160 industries and niches. John, those numbers are astronomical. Thank you so much for joining us.
And I'm only 20 years old. Go figure.
And
Been doing this for a long time, Dave.
A double thanks because of the time zone. I know it's really late for you. I really can't thank you enough for staying up and being on the show.
I never sleep, man. I'm a vampire. I never sleep. You know, I'm one of those entrepreneurs that everybody talks about. He never gets any sleep, but you know, yeah. Nice. I know I value my sleep very well. I'm just kidding.
I'm sure everybody needs it. John, your experience, I mean, it might be bigger than anyone I've talked to. And with so much experience, I'm dying to know off the top of your head, working with so many agencies, so many CEOs, what stands out as the biggest mistake that young agencies or struggling agencies make?
Number one, total lack of clarity and no plan. Most people aren't really thinking longer term, and they're not thinking how they're going to grow that business. The biggest thing is to have a very, I'm not talking about developing a massive strategic plan. What I'm talking about is having a very pragmatic, practical plan to follow to be able to hit your milestones of revenue. So at the small, if we're talking agencies, there are kind of there's three different levels that I talk about. One is the starter. The person is just kind of getting in there, wanting to get their one or two clients off the ground. So you got this mentality of, I've got to make some cash. I want to start this business, want to make some money. Then you got the freelancer who's got 5 to 8 clients that they're managing, but their skill level is in fulfillment. They struggle to generate clients consistently. They go in through a cycle of roller coaster revenue where, 2 months got cash, next month no cash, got to go and scramble, get clients. Yeah. And the third level is an agency level. Agency level is when you've got team, probably 3 to 5 at the lowest level, and then it goes up from there. Those businesses tend to start around that 400,000, 500,000, and they're looking to scale to that $1 million level. So the number one thing the majority of people in the market that are out there trying to make this work are in that gap between that 300,000 to, let's say, up to $1.5 million is probably the average at the agency level. Mm-hmm. And so their number one struggle, or it's not so much a struggle, but the number one issue, no plan. And without a plan, you're kind of a tourist wandering around looking at the sky, as General George S. Patton once said, famously said. And so I see companies that struggle to scale or grow, they actually haven't given themselves a direction to do that. What's the plan? What's the idea? How many people do we need to engage? That next piece in the puzzle is their offer. Not clear about your offer, not clear about who's going to benefit the most. If you understand those two things, then you've got certainty. So from going to clarity, once you've got clarity about your offer, avatar, and the result you can deliver for your client, the second part of that is now you've got certainty. When you've got certainty, you've got a lot more confidence. Yes. With confidence, you're going to scale and grow, right?
Exactly.
So that's the big one. That's the big one. Yeah. No plan, no direction, no clear offer, no clear avatar, no clear understanding of result, which means that they've got to go and understand what it is they're doing or what problem they're solving for clients. So that's a big one.
That makes a ton of sense. And like you said, with clarity comes confidence, right? Sales isn't so scary when you really believe and you're really sure of what you're going to deliver.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Absolutely. So my second thing I wanted to talk about is I saw that you run intensives and you travel a lot. You do this all over the world. And I heard a sound clip for one of your upcoming intensives where you said that one of the goals of the intensive is to literally generate sales that day while you're there. How do you do that for people?
Okay, so it goes, probably one of the thing is most people aren't engaging enough with anybody, right? If we're looking at businesses, unless you've got a sales team that is dedicated to generating revenue, then it's the person generally who's owning the business that is the sales department. Right. And so the one thing that I know or have learnt over the years that I've been in business, and I even had this conversation with Robert Herjavec from the Shark Tank, because he kind of, I asked him a question and he literally came back to me with this answer. And, I said, look, you've sold $1 billion company, you've got a $multi-100 million company now in the cybersecurity space. What's the core message like in your business? Because, you've been very successful. You've been dynamic, you're a thought leader, you're on TV, you're an investor, blah, blah, blah. And he said, these are the exact words he said: John, in good times, sales above all else. In bad times, sales above all else. So sales above all else is the mantra, right? Without sales, you've got no revenue. So in doing these intensives, in my head, it's like, what do we got to do to engage a person to make a very direct offer for them to take us up on that offer, either say yes to putting money in our bank account or saying, yes, I'd like to talk to you about this idea that you can help us, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's a couple of ways to do this. The number one way is that even if you have a result that you've delivered for someone, right, you want to actually share the result. You want to sit there and say, hey, this company has done this with us. They invested X amount of dollars in us and they've got an X amount of return on investment. We want to replicate. We want to do that exact same thing again. And if you're interested in working with us, we'd like to do that for you. So I'll give you a perfect example. We have one of our champions in the room, Brian, who is in the chiropractor space. And he had a text message that he'd received from one of his clients. In fact, the day of the intensive, he got this text and just puts it up in the room. And the text said, hey, we just generated $35,000 of patient revenue last month. That's a 10-to-1 return on our investment in your marketing services. Woohoo. That was the text that he got from a client, right? So I said, Brian, let's take that text right now, copy paste, like take a screenshot, and we're going to email it out to every person that you've done a proposal to in the last 6 months, right here, right now in the room. And here's the message. Hey, one of our clients has just shown us how we've got them a 10x return on their investment in generating over 35K in patient revenue. If you would like us to show you how to generate 35K in revenue and get the same result that we did with this particular service, if that will help you and add over $360,000 worth of revenue annually, if that's something that you're interested in, just reply with your best phone number now. We just sent that message out, right? 7 people jumped on the call straight away. Within 48 hours.
Tip. So it's almost like oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, within 48 hours, $55,000 worth of sales within 48 hours. We had another guy. We had another guy in the room, the same thing, but different approach, right? His approach was, look, at the end of the day, our speciality is to bridge the gap from where a client is here to this level here. Right now, if you don't have a plan and a structure and a system and a predictable way of getting or bridging this gap, then give us your number, because we'll show you exactly how that works. But we can only do this for 3 people, right? We can only do this for 3 people.
Little scarcity.
So, yeah, it's absolute scarcity, right? So again, 15 appointments within a 24-hour period, like, was happening live in the room, like people going, yep, I'm in, right?
Yeah.
Those are deals where we're making an offer to engage, to be able to share our services. What the really exciting deal is where somebody actually puts money in your bank account because you make a money offer on the spot. So one of the things we do in the intensive is, for those people who can do this, we make a direct money offer. So they, organize a payment link, like rough and raw and ready, right? So let's get a PayPal payment link. That takes like 5 seconds, right? Or a couple of minutes, right? So rough and raw ready. Here's the link. What's the offer? So in the room, we just go value stack, right? No discounting, no discounting. We're going to stick to our guns on our pricing. What we are going to do is add one piece of significant value. We're going to create what I call the ridiculous offer, right? The ridiculous offer. And the ridiculous offer is only available to 1 or 2 people. And it's only available in the next couple of hours. Right, you can only buy this in the next couple of hours, right? So there are three lists. There's a familiar list. There's your customer list, your current customer list. There is your list that you generating, that you're nurturing, and then there's your social list, right? Your social connections. So there's 4. There's 3 lists. Those are 3 lists. So the money offer is, the ridiculous money offer is like the last minute throw the line. Anybody out there want to do this, right? Sure. So now, and there's time sensitivity and there's massive scarcity, right? Time sensitivity, massive scarcity. So I'll give you 2 examples of how this works and what the result was. Because the result happened within like 40 minutes, right? We had one person get $40,000 cash in bank off PayPal links in 40 minutes. 40 grand cash in 40 minutes.
What was the offer?
We had another person. I'll share the offer in just a moment.
Oh,
The other person did $84,000 in 48 hours.
geez,
$84,000 in sales in 48 hours, right?
that's
Pretty
incredible.
cool. Pretty cool. Now, this happens a lot. Like we've done this so often live in the room. This happens when I ever do this. You get this apprehension, like, oh, this isn't going to work, right? Like, who the hell is going to be generating sales? This is so hit and miss, so random. There's not been a single room where we haven't had immediate direct sales happen in the day anytime I've done these intensives. There's
Wow.
always one or two people that just hit it out of the park. Now, that's not because I'm a genius or anything like that. That's just because we're being practical about the very thing. The fundamental of your business is you always have to be offering something to someone, because if you're not offering something, nobody can buy it, right? If you don't make an offer, they can't buy. And one thing people get stuck on is a pricing mentality, is they tend to lowball their pricing because, obviously experience, confidence, whatever the reason is, trying to commoditize in market, thinking that there's a ceiling that people will pay for a particular service. There's that mindset. So here's how the offer works. It's pretty simple, right? Whatever your standard offering is, right, that's your pricing. So if you charge $5,000 a month, 10 grand set up, this is the deal, right? Like, this is what you get. That's the deal. But what we're trying to look for is a value add. There's two value adds that people don't charge for in our world, in the service of marketing or service world. The number one thing that people don't charge for is strategy. They don't charge for thinking, right? So if I were to give you a strategy that we would charge $10,000 for, outline a blueprint, a follow through, a layout to deliver to you, a schematic, right? That if we sat down and used our thinking and worked together to devise a strategy that's going to get the outcome or bridge the gap, we would charge 10 grand. Now, if I was working back in the day when I was working with McKinsey, right, in the consulting world, we would charge $50,000 for the first phone call for that strategy. Right, and then the $50,000 will turn into a $200,000 RFP for an audit, right? And that $200,000 audit will turn into a $4 million to $10 million client engagement, right? So they don't have any problem, charging for their thinking, because they're the masters of the universe, or so they think they do. So no slight on my friends at McKinsey. But strategy is something people don't charge for. Strategy is a line item they don't put on their invoice. And every person that's delivering marketing services has to think about how a client is going to benefit. What is the client pathway? What is the communication? What is the offer? What is the message, right? Everybody has to think about those things. That's time and effort and expertise and knowledge on your part that you should be charging for. So one of the line items in a value stack, what you can do is say, hey, this is our fee and this is what we do. But one thing that we want to do is, normally when we go into this process, we have a strategy, a blueprinting process we go through. It's our intellectual property to make sure we maximize the result for our clients. We normally charge $5,000 for that initial strategy. We are going to deliver that strategy for you. Now, they're not charging for it in the first place, so they're not losing any money, right?
Genius,
they're not losing money.
You just invented
the perception of value, the true value of what that should be plugged into this, right? So there's $5,000 of strategy. The second thing is, if I can provide a complementary service, right? Like, let's say we have to, if we're in the lead gen space, we have to do creative for the lead generation. We have to do design, copy, and we don't charge for that. Oh, sorry, I do. But the rest of the world in this game doesn't charge for something they should be charging for, right? So the other part of that is, not only am I going to deliver the strategy, but I'm also going to provide you with some creative and design from our team, and that normally is valued at $3,000 to $4,000. So I'm going to give you $9,000 worth of value that is critical to the success of you running an optimized campaign as part of this process. But I can only give that to 2 people who are ready to go now. So if you want us to devise a strategy and provide you with $2,000 to $3,000 worth of creative, that's $9,000 or $8,000 that we want to plug in to 2 people, because we want to smash the result out of the park. So we're pulling all our resources, all our team, to focus in on one person to take advantage of the exceptional expertise that we have in our team, right?
That's fantastic.
So that's the offer, right? That's the offer. So the headline, subject line, we want to invest $9,000 in your business, right?
That's genius.
Chase, I want to invest $9,000 in your business, right? Here's how it's going to work. this sounds like a ridiculous offer. I'm literally going to script out the email for you on the spot here in 5 seconds, right?
Let's do
this
it.
Sounds like this is like an absolute, this is a ridiculous offer. You might be thinking, what the hell's going on? What's this $9,000 bullshit, right? So let me be real with you. We're looking to work with one client that is actually wanting to really capitalize on the opportunity for lost opportunity revenue or the creation of new revenue in their business. So we would like to invest our team's time, $5,000 worth of our strategy time, to develop that blueprint and execute on this plan, right? The second thing is we're going to pull in our creative team, and we're going to give $2,000 to $3,000 of our creative time to actually making sure we maximize and optimize the opportunity for a strong result on this campaign. We only are giving this to one person. So the first person that pays their initial installment for us to do this, hit the PayPal link below, right? So we blast that out to those 3 lists. Friends, family, and associates. Who do you know can benefit from this? Or would you like to benefit from this? Hey, we've been working together for a while. If we're looking to really capitalize on project, take advantage of this offer. Hey, we used to work together. We thought we'd put this out there. We're not giving this out to everybody, but we thought, hey, we're really serious. We want to create an amazing result for somebody, and we want to make that offer to somebody that we know, right? The third thing is hey, you've been on our list for a little while. We thought we'd do something absolutely crazy. Right? Instead of spending money on advertising and marketing, we thought we would like to give you that money, but we're only going to do this for 1 or 2 people, right? That's it, right? Send that out, right? Now, second campaign, money campaign, same thing, right? I've got a product or I've got an offering. I already have a price point and a product and offering. This could work for people who are consultants or coaches or people who've got clients. You might want to actually, this is a great cash grab, by the way. It's a great cash generation strategy. You might already have a product, right? You might already have a service. What you want to do is take a value add. Value add might be time with you. Going to give you $2,000 of our strategy time, whatever. A value add might be, we'd like to plug in we've got a program or a course or a system or something. We'd like to plug in our high-level automated reignition campaign. Normally we charge clients $15,000 for this campaign. If you decide to use our lead gen, we will give you a month worth of that at $15,000, right? So here's the thing. Here's the money offer, the value stack, right? Normally charge what we're offering for. Why are we being this crazy? We want to really work with 5 people who want to hit it out of the park. This offer will close in the next 5 hours. So first in, first best served, right? So we hit the button, right? We hit the button. So one dude, $84,000 in 48 hours. On the day, had to leave the room to take a sales call. We've had that happen a few times. Had to leave the room from the offer to take a sales call to close the deal, collect the money, right? So next day, sends me a message, dude, 5 sold. I'm keeping the doors open. $84,000 in 48 hours. We had one dude who sold $40,000 cash in bank. The payment was 20 grand up front. Wow. Right? Two people paid 20 grand up front in the account on the value stack. We had one guy who generated 10 clients at 4 grand a piece, buy now button, in 40 minutes. 40 minutes off a social media post. We did the social media post in the room. So the lesson in the madness is, if you don't make an offer, nobody can buy it. But if you're going to make an offer, use scarcity, use massive value, use time sensitivity, but that massive value doesn't have to be a physical dollar cost to you. It is purely a perceived dollar value. It is a highly perceived dollar value to the client, but it is not it's something that you normally probably give away anyway of your time because you want to generate the deal, right? But now you're actually valuing what we do, right? So if you make direct offers, people will buy. That's the number one. If you want to make fast sales, make an offer, make a ridiculous offer. I tell people that I work with and everybody who's listening to this thing, if you want to make money on the last 2 days of the month, if you want to just cap your cash in, right? Go and make the ridiculous offer that I've just made at the end of the month. Hey, we thought we'd go crazy. It's the end of the month. We've had a great month. We're going to do a ridiculous offer, right?
Exactly.
Here's a ridiculous offer. If you're interested, take advantage of it. So it's the closeout for the month. Every single person that does generates sales. It's amazing.
I am like sick to my stomach that we don't have more time for this but I feel like you just unloaded more value in 10 minutes than I normally get in 45. Where can people go if they want to hook up with you? They want to find your intensives. How do they find you?
Just go to consultingunleashed.com. There's something that it's a free mini course. I call it the Fast Five. I shot this mini course on the walking over the bridge from the Manhattan side of the Brooklyn Bridge to the Brooklyn side of the Brooklyn Bridge. I did a 5-video course. But in that 5 videos, I'm literally giving you, this is what you do, this is how you get out there, this is how you go and make sales. We've had so many people actually generate revenue just from taking that mini course. It's on the front page of the website. You can grab it. It's free. So you can go to consultingunleashed.com. That's huge value. There's tons of videos. If you just search John Logar on YouTube, there's a million videos. I pretty much give away everything to people. I don't hold back and say, hey, buy my stuff. I'm more interested in actually people applying what I know works and getting feedback for themselves. But I know we've had a short time, man. I'd love to come back sometime because I was
just going to say we're going to have to do this again, yeah.
Because the biggest thing is people, what you focus on most, right? If you focus on income generation for your business, you're going to generate income. If you focus on engaging, most people are very struggling to, how do I engage people? How do I get people to talk to me? Like, how do I cut through the noise, right? The only way you can cut through the noise is a friend of mine used to always have this saying, a guy called Alan McGovern used to say, to have a friend, you have to be a friend first. To have a friend, you have to be a friend first. So always lead with value. Always try and help people out. You're in the business, the whole sales thing is about, hey, I help people that, to do this very thing that they struggle with. I help people to add revenue, to add value, to actually build the business that they aspire to. I want to be the person of help, right? So if you come from that place, it's much easier to engage. The thing I love about HighLevel is that you've got so many entry points. Like the biggest offer that you can make for HighLevel if you're using HighLevel as a service or plugging it into your lead gen, because if you're doing lead ads, Facebook, AdWords, Instagram, whatever you're doing, LinkedIn, the back end, if you really want a strong agency business, the back end is to plug in HighLevel to the back end to make sure every single lead is managed from those campaigns. So a client can't turn around and say to you that our leads suck. Leads don't suck. Shitty, unoptimized sales processes suck, right?
Well, this is definitely a topic for another day because I could talk forever about that.
So that's the thing. Lead with value. To have a friend, be a friend is the critical thing. Yeah.
I love it. All right. Well, John, thank you again so much for coming on the show. We definitely have to do this again. Let's get check out consultingunleashed.com. And like you said, YouTube, John's got tons of videos over there. So thank you so much, John. We will definitely talk to you again soon. Hopefully you get some sleep tonight.
Take care, man. No worries.